Now we're gonna watch the Indiana Jones Stunt Show Spectacular. So we got up and left the hotel room, and since we were running just a little bit late, we decided to skip breakfast and went straight out to the bus. We had a park reservation for Epcot, and we wanted to do more of the festival stuff, but since we'd already been there earlier in the week, we decided that at some point in the day we would hop over to Hollywood Studios, and we also ended up getting a last-minute lunch reservation for the 50s Primetime Cafe at Hollywood Studios, so that obviously definitely made that somewhere where we had to go. And the first place we went to was Connections Cafe, which is Epcot's new Starbucks location, and we hadn't actually been there yet, and if you haven't had a chance to go inside there, it's freaking huge, but we needed some caffeine to get the day started. And then after waiting for a really long time in line for some Starbucks drinks, we just kind of walked around and decided where we should get started for the day, and we noticed that Remy's Ratatouille Adventure didn't have too long of a line, so we started making our way in that direction. Alright, so we're at Epcot this morning. I think this is the first, actual speaking clip you're gonna have from us this morning. We didn't do anything in the hotel before we left, because we left in a little bit of a hurry because we slept in a little bit later than we wanted to. But it's about 9 something, almost 10, and we're here. We've been here for about 30 minutes because we had to go to Starbucks and wait in that long ass line. But we needed it because we were thirsty. But yeah, Carlos, you got a drink too, didn't you?
I did.
What is that?
Green tea, black tea, or a black tea with peach flavoring.
A green tea, black tea. Sounds delicious. No, he got a black tea with peach flavoring, so a peach black tea. And I just have a regular green tea sweet. There's kind of a little bit of a divide here in Florida, at least at Disney, between Starbucks and Joffrey's. Comment down below if you're a Joffrey's person or if you're a Starbucks person, and let me know what drink you usually order. This is what always my go-to, just a regular plain green tea, boring. He puts peach flavoring in his black tea. I don't normally do coffee, he does sometimes, but anyway, let me know. We're gonna go experience some more of the festival stuff, ride a couple rides today, and then we're gonna hop over to Hollywood Studios here in a little bit because we have a lunch reservation, but we'll talk more about that later. Anyway, we'll talk soon. As I mentioned in a previous video in this series, it was Epcot's International Flower and Garden Festival, so of course there were flowers and plants and just overall beautiful vegetation everywhere, and I have to say Epcot looks absolutely fantastic like this. But we made our way through the front part of Epcot and around past the International Gateway into the France Pavilion to ride Ratatouille. The ride had a posted 45-minute wait, but that was overestimated because we were standing at the platform about to get into our little mouse cars in just over 30 minutes. I've seen the line for this get well over 2 hours long, and as cute of a ride as it is, I'd say don't wait longer than 45-50 minutes for it. Alright y'all, so we stopped for our first bite of the day. Egg rolls at the China booth with, our usual drinks. I have this one every time I go there. It's called the Cantaloupe. I think it's delicious. Carlos thinks it's too strong. He got a Kung Fu Punch. But yeah, it's quite humid today. I'm moister than an oyster. So, yeah. Living our best life though. Can't complain too much. We'll talk soon. The China Booth egg rolls are one of my favorite quick snacks on the World Showcase, and then from there we were feeling hot, so we decided to go inside the Creation Shop to look around. It more or less had the same stuff as it had the last time we were there several months ago, but they did have a new collection out, and we liked a couple of the things, but I don't think we actually bought anything. But then from there we noticed that they had a butterfly garden set up, so we decided to walk through there. It was kind of like an exhibit that you'd see at like a local zoo or something, but they had all kinds of information about the different butterflies that they had in there, and there were definitely a lot of them. And while you definitely don't want to touch them or anything, sometimes they would land on you, and there was something kind of peaceful about being in there. But then from there we made our way back to the World Showcase because we wanted to go up the other side again, and as you'll sometimes find when you're walking through, the band in the Canada Pavilion was up on the stage, and so we stopped over there for a bit to listen to them jam out.
Looks like we waited. Look how far we've come, my baby. Not took a long way. We knew we'd get there someday.
As we were lingering in the Canada Pavilion, we checked the ride times on the app and we noticed that Test Track had gone down from over an hour to a posted 45-minute wait, so we made our way over there. While we were in line, the ride broke down twice. The first time they told us just to stand by, but the second time they told us the ride was down for a long time, and then as we were exiting, they offered everyone a return pass. We weren't using the Genie Plus service, so that may be something we need to use next time since the lines were long in certain places. And so from there, we went around to the other side of the front part of Epcot and rode the Seas with Nemo and Friends, which is obviously a classic clamshell ride that I honestly enjoy. And then we made our way over to the Land Pavilion to ride Soarin' Around the World. It was a posted 25-minute wait, which for that ride is basically a walk-on, and that rang true. We immediately went through and were assigned a concourse, and then we were standing and waiting to get onto the ride. We ended up in row 2 in the center, which that and the row in front of us is arguably the best seats on that attraction. I prefer to be in that middle section no matter what, but if I can get in the first and second row, I feel like it was worth any time I had to wait, which in this case was almost none. And then after that, it was time to head over to Hollywood Studios, so we went over to the International Gateway because we planned to walk on the walking trail.
So as you all can see, it's raining now, so that's fun. We have a lunch reservation, late lunch reservation at the 50s Primetime Cafe at Hollywood Studios, and we're still at Epcot. The Skyliner stopped. Everybody's kind of just taking shelter and waiting it out. The National Weather Service says it could be ongoing for the next hour or so, but that's just not going to work for us. If it gets to be about 10 minutes from now and it's still raining, we're just going to have to walk through the rain. So, yay. Good times. Welcome to Florida, y'all. We'll talk soon. All right, so we're on the trail, walking our way over to Hollywood Studios because we have that dining reservation, like I mentioned. But also, we waited in the darn test track line for an hour and 25 minutes before they were like, sorry, ride close. And then we had to leave.
We have a fast pass for later.
Yeah, they gave us a fast pass for later, or lightning lane, sorry, for later. And so we'll see if we go redeem that. It's only good till 9 p.m. tonight, so yeah. Carlos wants to go back for a little like Chia Pet anyway, so
Yeah. Garden Festival. I'm gonna buy one.
yeah, so they have this cool little like plant things you can grow in the shape of Disney characters, so he's gonna maybe try to get one of those. But yeah, we're walking. Anyway,
Looking dramatic.
we'll talk soon.
Bye.
So we dramatically walked the rest of the way to Hollywood Studios. It's actually not that bad of a walk. It only takes about 15 minutes. And as you saw, the rain mostly stopped before we left Epcot, so we didn't get soaked or anything. And we were running a little bit late, but we got to our dining reservation with about 10 minutes to spare, and they immediately sat us, and so yeah, it was really easy. And we chowed down on all the fixins from Ma's Kitchen, and we even had dessert, which is something that we almost never do. And then after we left, we noticed that the Indiana Jones show was about to start, so we went in there to see that.
So Carlos and I just finished eating at the 50s Primetime Cafe. What did you think, Carlos?
Very, very delicious. The
Yeah.
best fried chicken ever.
Yeah, Carlos likes that place a lot. We pretty much go every time we come because Carlos likes it so much. But yeah, it's fun. It's silly. The food is good. It's not that expensive. I mean, it's a little pricey, but like to Disney standards, it's kind of like middle of the road. And yeah, so can recommend. Now we're going to watch the Indiana Jones Stunt Show Spectacular. Because we haven't actually seen that since, 2013, when we were here for the very first time, almost a decade ago.
Right.
So let's see what's new. Let's see what we remember. Let's see what we see and do what we do, and we'll talk soon.
Bye.
The Indiana Jones show was very similar to what we experienced in 2013, but there were some differences, and overall it was a really enjoyable show. And then from there we went over to ride Tower of Terror, which is a favorite of both of ours, and the line wasn't too long, although it was longer than we would normally have waited for it. We just felt like we needed to do at least one more ride while we were at Hollywood Studios. Hi friends, so we're in the Skyliner because our little old men feet could not walk us back across the middle all the way over to where are we going? Epcot, right? Yeah, so to Epcot. The lines at Hollywood Studios were just a little bit too long, so we decided to call it a day over there for now, and we're gonna head back over to Epcot because we have a couple of things we still want to do. Plus we have that fast pass or lightning lane thing from the breakdown earlier, so yeah, we're gonna go redeem that and probably get a drink or two. What do you think, Carlos?
Yeah, or 3 or 4.
Yeah, and we're gonna go look at the little Chia Pet things and figure out if we can get those shipped home, etc. But yeah, that's what we're doing. We're in here. We just stopped for some reason. What do you think that means?
Nothing.
All right, well, we'll talk soon.
When we got back to Epcot, we went through some of the pavilions that we hadn't really spent a whole lot of time in earlier in the day, and we of course ended up in Mexico, which is both of our favorites. Being that we live in the Southwest, we love Latinx culture, but honestly, it's mostly because of the margaritas.
OnStar. SIM card performance data acquired.
Now let's see how your vehicles compare when it comes to their efficiency.
We're last place.
Yeah.
After Test Track, we decided that we were done for the day, so we made our way out to the main exit to where we caught the bus, which came pretty much right away, and headed back to our hotel for the night.
All right, y'all. So something happened. We got caught in a storm. Woo. We're almost back to the room, though. Where now we have to dry off, put our shoes up to dry, and figure out the rest of our lives, or whatever. But anyway, we'll talk soon.
So we chilled in our room, and the rain came down for like another 15 minutes and then completely stopped because that's how it works in Florida. But it was definitely another good Walt Disney World day, and I want to thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all those fun things. We'll talk soon, and y'all have a good night.